Adrian saves Liverpool, PSG turned down Neymar bid, Sancho staying put, Jovic may leave, and we've got a roundup of the rest of the day's transfer news. There are more coming up in the next few minutes as I'm your host Matt Froelich, you are the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. So first off, and to the UEFA Super Cup, where Liverpool won their 4th title and Jurgen Klopp's 2nd trophy in charge of the Reds. Adrian, the unlikeliest of heroes, stopped Tammy Abraham's penalty to make sure that Liverpool won 5-4 on penalties. The game, though, despite being Chelsea's 2nd loss in the space of 4 days, was actually another good one for Frank Lampard's Blues. I know what you're going to say, how on earth have they lost 4-0 to Chelsea and then lost on penalties in the Super Cup, but still put in 2 good performances? Well, they actually did. N'Golo Kante was man of the match. There were brilliant performances from Olivier Giroud, and aside from Sadio Mane's 2 brilliant strikes, Liverpool weren't exactly at their tip-top best. But I guess when you're not at your best and you win trophies, that's the sign of a good team. As for Adrian, well, 2 weeks ago, he was without a club after leaving West Ham. But since Simon Mignolet decided to depart the club, Klopp needed a backup. He brought the former West Ham man in, and with Alisson's injury, he stepped in on Friday night against Norwich and then proved to be the hero against Chelsea. This sets Liverpool up nicely for the rest of the season, in which they are now competing to win 6 trophies, having lost 1 and won 1 in the space of the last 10 days. And next up, of course, to a bit of Neymar news. Every single day there's something new, but today some actually relatively interesting news that Real Madrid and Barcelona have both had a Neymar bid rejected from PSG. It said that the Barcelona bid was around £93 million plus Coutinho, and for Real Madrid it was some money involving the likes of either Modric or Gareth Bale. We all know that Bale desperately wants to leave, and so does Coutinho, so both of the bids seem to be quite realistic. But PSG have turned both of them down. They are standing hard on their line and saying that they want €222 million, the exact amount that they paid for the Brazilian in the first place. Yesterday, Neymar did train by himself and apparently has told the club that he will continue to do so until they sell him. Whether or not that will happen in this transfer window, obviously, we don't quite know yet, but this saga is just going on and on. So for those of you who watch the Daily News every day, firstly, thank you, and secondly, I apologise for the barrage of Neymar news within the next few weeks. But someone who won't be going anywhere is Jadon Sancho, that's for the moment. The CEO of Dortmund did say that a super club came in and asked about his availability, but he told them no, he's not going anywhere, don't contact me again. He did go on to say, though, that Sancho may leave the club eventually because he's got such unbelievable potential. The 19-year-old is developing year on year, and if he continues to be such a top star, they'll have to review his position at the end of every season. He said that this is because Sancho doesn't necessarily have any ties to the region or to the Bundesliga, so if a big foreign player wants to leave, especially to his home country, they can't exactly stop him. As for who the super club was, well, it's probably likely to be Manchester United or Manchester City. Both of them have got the money to bring Sancho in, and even though Manchester City did let him go as a youngster, I'm sure with enough promises of playing time and enough money, they'll be able to take him back. So next up, and to one of the weirdest stories, and it's probably just a massive rumour, but it's worth talking about anyway, and it's Luka Jovic potentially leaving Real Madrid. Now, I know he only just signed for them in the summer. In fact, he was Zinedine Zidane's first signing this summer. But after a poor pre-season, the Frenchman could be looking to loan Jovic out. He said that he wasn't really impressed with what he's been seeing in pre-season. That included starting in the embarrassing defeat to rivals Atletico Madrid and coming off with an injury, and that he's not quite sure he's ready for La Liga just yet. After spending so much money, you would have thought they'd give him at least a chance in a proper game. He's been playing alongside Benzema and up front of his own, but has failed to score a goal just yet. As for who take him, well, of course, there'll be a lot of teams interested, especially former club Frankfurt, but I'm not entirely sure he will be leaving just yet. Again, this is a bit of a rumour, but what do you guys think? Should Zidane keep him? Where should he play him? Or should he just let him go on loan? So lastly but not least, we come to a roundup of the day's transfer news and rumours, where first off, the former Arsenal man Jeff-René Adelaide has joined Lyon in a £25 million deal. Borja Iglesias has made the switch from Espanyol to Real Betis. Mario Balotelli looks set to join Brescia in Serie A and rejected an offer from Flamengo. And lastly but not least, Alexis Sanchez has said he wants to stay at Man United. Of course he does. He'll just sit on the bench and collect £500,000 a week. Ridiculous. So anyway, let me know your thoughts on today's Daily News and whether or not the Neymar saga will ever end. Of course, you can smash the like button whilst you're down there and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on OneFootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.